The outward journey. The journey outward. A path stretching toward the blazing frontier of the sun's dominion, where the golden light of day begins to fade into the velvet dark of infinity. It is not merely a voyage through distance, but a daring passage across the very rim of the known universe. A step beyond the comfort of horizons we once believed eternal. Beyond every line the human eye can see, beyond every boundary the human mind once drew, there lies the uncharted, the realm of silence, shadow, and mystery. This is not just a journey into space. It is a journey into the unknown, into the very meaning of existence within the cosmos. The path extends to the edge of the sun's empire, where warmth weakens, and the radiant breath of our star turns to a whisper in the cold. At this invisible border, heat dissolves into frost, and the light that once defined our world surrenders to endless night. For more than 40 years, Voyager 2 has been moving steadily away from us, not in leaps or bursts, but in a patient, graceful glide through eternity. A fragile creation of human hands, floating alone in the vast ocean of space, drifting deeper into darkness with every passing year. Each orbit of Earth sends it a little farther from home. A messenger forged of metal and memory, sinking beneath the cosmic waves of a sea without end. Every second that ticks upon Earth's clocks pulls it farther from the warmth of our star, farther from the light that once gave it purpose and life. It left behind the great planets of our celestial family, Jupiter's roaring storms, Saturn's golden rings, Uranus's tilted dance, and Neptune's howling winds. Their grand ballet, once close and vibrant, now fades into distant glimmers, the echoes of worlds left behind in silence. Voyager sailed beyond Saturn's shimmering halo, past Neptune's frozen tempests, until even those distant giants became faint sparks in the black. It ventured into the Kuiper Belt, a frozen wilderness of ancient ice and shattered rock, a graveyard of forgotten beginnings. Here lie the remnants of creation itself, fragments left over from the birth of the sun, untouched for billions of years. And still, beyond even that, it pressed onward, into regions that once belonged only to theory, to imagination, to the quiet dreams of astronomers and poets. It was stepping into a place no eye had seen, no signal had mapped, no instrument had ever touched. When it rose from Earth in 1977, the world below was different, a world of analog hearts and fragile hope. Computers filled entire rooms, yet held less intelligence than the small devices we now carry in our hands. To reach Voyager then was to stretch a whisper across 1 billion miles, a signal so faint, so delicate, it could vanish with a single cosmic breath. And yet, humanity dared. We dared to speak to the universe. We launched a small golden dream into the dark, a craft no larger than a car, carrying the heartbeat of an entire species. It was a fragile spark born from faith in science and the restless urge to explore. Voyager 2 was never built to last forever. It was made to glimpse, not to endure. A brief messenger of curiosity, not a monument of permanence. Its mission was bold, audacious, and fleeting, a conversation with the unknown, whispered across eternity. Scientists predicted its sensors would die within years, its batteries would fade, its voice would weaken and vanish into silence. They imagined it as drifting debris, a fragment of metal lost in the frozen sea between stars. But Voyager refused to obey. It did not fade. It did not. The boundary and beyond it endured. Stubborn against the silence, against the cold, against the infinite weight of time itself. Across decades, Voyager continued to whisper, sending faint messages across the abyss, signals so delicate they could be mistaken for the heartbeat of the stars. And what it sent back was not the fading breath of a dying machine. It was something alive, something that reshaped how humanity saw its place in the universe. Its messages were not merely data or numbers. They were revelations, echoes from the edge of creation, telling us stories no one had ever heard before. Then, at last, Voyager 2 reached the boundary. Not a blur, not a soft horizon, but a wall. The final frontier where the sun's power ends and the galaxy begins. This invisible wall, the heliopause, marks the outer edge of our solar system, where the breath of the sun surrenders to the winds of the wider cosmos. For years, scientists imagined this border to be gentle, like mist dissolving into air. But Voyager proved them wrong. The crossing was sudden, sharp, and violent. Radiation surged like a storm. Plasma thickened around the spacecraft. Magnetic fields twisted into chaotic shapes. It wasn't a slow fading into the dark, it was an impact. As if the spacecraft had torn through an unseen veil into a new and alien sea. One moment, it floated within the sun's invisible shield. The next, it was cast into a cold, foreign expanse. Beyond the heliopause, the galaxy revealed its true face, turbulent, restless, and alive. The silence of deep space was not emptiness, but motion, a place where even the void breathes. For the first time, humanity saw how fragile our protection truly is. We live inside a shimmering bubble of solar wind, a delicate cocoon that guards us from the fury of the galaxy. When the sun grows fierce, the bubble swells. When it weakens, it shrinks, and radiation creeps inward, closer to our fragile blue world. That fragility became real in 2019. After more than 40 years of faithful transmission, Voyager 2 fell silent. Its signal vanished. Its instruments froze. Engineers feared it had finally died, that the long voyage had come to an end. But then, against all expectation, it returned. Alive. Still speaking. Still whispering across the void. The data it sent back told a strange story. Radiation spikes. Magnetic distortions. Something powerful, unseen, had passed through. Some said it was a storm of plasma. Others wondered if Voyager had crossed something unknown, a structure, a field, perhaps even a threshold we do not yet understand. Whatever the cause, one truth was clear: interstellar space is not still. It is alive with invisible tides. Waves of radiation rise and fall like the rhythm of a breath. Magnetic fields drift and twist, as if the darkness itself were dreaming. Space beyond the sun's reach is not a void, it is a living sea of storms. Then came the most haunting discovery of all, the magnetic alignment. The magnetic field of our sun and that of the galaxy were not clashing or chaotic, but perfectly aligned. As though shaped to fit, as if designed. Two possibilities emerged. Either the sun's field has slowly sculpted this harmony over billions of years, or our solar system was born in a region already tuned to the galaxy's rhythm. If the first is true, then our star is far stronger than we ever imagined. If the second, then perhaps our place in the universe is not random at all. And so, a question rose. What if the heliopause is not just a border? What if it reacts? What if it listens? If so, then Voyager 2 didn't simply cross into interstellar space. It announced itself. And that thought becomes uneasy when we remember what it carries. The golden record. Etched with greetings, music, the sounds of Earth, and a map pointing straight to our home. Once, it was a message of hope. Now, it feels like a question. Did we send a greeting to the stars, or a beacon revealing where we live? Voyager 2 drifts onward still, carrying our voice through the dark. It reminds us that our solar system is not alone, but shielded by a fragile, living barrier. Beyond it lies turbulence, mystery, and the pulse of the galaxy itself. Nearly half a century later, it continues its endless journey. And somewhere, in the silence between the stars, a question waits. When the void whispers back, will we be ready to hear?